Shalom. First I want to say, call Halayim, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Shalom to you fellow laborers out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity, especially during these times. Shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. A hearty shalom to you other laborers and believers that are scattered abroad throughout the face of the earth. Even if you're among the heathen, and even like the heathen who are speckled bird Israelites, to the household of faith, which is the elect, I want to say shalom to you all. I'm in transit. I'm driving right now, but hey, through the Spirit, I just want to put this up, and Lord willing, it's edifying because as we see the near end of Esau's age coming to a head, things are exciting, and I say that because if you truly believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you believe, if you believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and you believe in the Lord's word, man, hey, these are exciting times that we're living in, seeing that these prophecies are speaking louder than ever before. So, just like Habakkuk said, which I'm gonna get here in a second, because he said something that was that's worth repeating over and over and over again, because we have to stay on our watch as watchmen of Israel. And when you keep in watch, you gotta remain firm on your watch, or stand strong on your watch until you're relieved. And we're not going to be relieved until Yahweh Shai come and redeem us when we're on those chariots. So the job is not over, man. Or the Lord going to take us off the streets as well. So that's going to happen as well. When the Lord is going to remove us from off the highways and hedges. But those things are to come. Okay, we got to still do our job. So it says right here in Habakkuk 2:1, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. So, when you set on the tower, and when you know the importance of a watchman, as he set up on the tower, which is his duty, his job is probably most important when it comes down to the safety of the city. And the city is the people, really. You have a land, with the city gates in ancient times, but the important thing is the people. You know what I mean? You keep watch because of the people's sake. Because why? They're not watching what's going on outside the city walls. So you got to keep watching, warn them. Okay, which is the job of a watchman. Okay, and so when Habakkuk said what? He said he will stand up on his watch, meaning he gonna keep his watch. He gonna stand firm on it. Okay. Verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And so we have to make these prophecies plain or easily understood to our people that's watching. All right, watching the video epistles that we put up on a daily. All right, whether it be the highways and hedges, your personal videos. We have to, constantly break these prophecies down and what's going on, especially in these last days. All right, to the people being Israel, and also, we're made a prophet unto the nations as well, to warn them of their judgment that's coming. Or to tell, not to warn them, but to tell them about their judgment that's coming. So that's Jeremiah 1:5. All right. The Lord made Jeremiah a prophet unto the nations. So, yeah, for you Israelites out there, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, you got salvation that's coming for the elect, and the rest of the 1/3, and then 2/3 are going to be destroyed over here on the side, man. And then the other nations, you got judgment coming to you for what you've done to Zion, or the apple of the Lord's eye, which is the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, and American people. Okay? So, I want to bring this out in 2 Ezra 16 because this was the main thing that was on my spirit, is the birth pains. And I was thinking about the birth pains that are going on, here in Babylon and abroad, where we see basically a societal collapse is at hand, and that comes with several things that's going to happen. Of course, we know, the pestilence, the famine. You got the wars, rumors of wars. You got MOTB, civil unrest. All these things are happening because why? Those are the birth pains, and sometimes they hit harder than others, but still, you may get excited when you see them happening or come to pass in the news. But guess what? Just like the Lord said, hey, Yahushua said what? All these are beginning of sorrows, but the end is not yet. So we have to keep that in mind, because we're watching these things come to pass, and yeah, it's exciting, but the end is not yet. It's not over till it's over, So 2 Ezra 16 and 36, it says, behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Verse 37. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Right, the plagues are the things I just mentioned. Okay. Oh, you got job loss. The dollar can collapse any moment. You're experiencing inflation, and a lot of financial experts, they saying that that here in Babylon we can experience hyperinflation by as early as spring or summer. So brothers that watch the financial market or sector, you in the now, you know what's going on as far as that regard. Regarding the the dollar and how money works, digital currency, all that. Because the MOTB is going to come to pass before this World War III, jump off. So that's one of the major prophecies that we looking forward to coming to pass. You know what I mean? So verse 38, it says this. It says, as when a woman with child. Oh, let me park real quick. Shalakia. Pull it up for camp. It says, let's see. Bear me 1 second. I'm pulling up for camp. Oh, Shalakia. Oh, a little wobbly. So, Shalakia, I had to back in for parking spot, pulling up for camp. But anyways, continuing on, let me adjust my screen. I'm at verse 38. It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Right, because when a woman go into labor, there's all kind of contractions. All right, contractions that the woman will have, leading up to the time of her to push that baby through her womb, and they can be heavy birth pains or heavy contractions, and also they can die down. All right, they can mild down. And that's what's going on. We get excited, we see things happen in the news as far as concerning prophecy. Yeah, it's exciting, but guess what? We're gonna know when it really let loose, or when the Lord cause these plagues to be fully on, you know, where all hell break loose, you're going to know. All right, you're going to know. And those birth pains or contractions, all right, are the things I mentioned, like the famine. I mentioned the famine, the civil unrest, like you got right now, the Egyptians versus the Egyptians right now, where you got, ICE killing Edomites even over here in Minneapolis. That's going to lead to a civil unrest. Oh, they are harassing Jake police, so it's going to come to the point where even within the military and, and even law enforcement in itself, it's going to be a division. Okay. And we see it going on. All right. You got, also, what's going on? Oh, you got ICE even out here now. So here in Indiana, you got ICE setting up shop. They buying buildings downtown. They've been in the gym, in one of the gyms around here already, monitoring, setting up, sting. So Jacob's time of trouble is happening then too. So a lot of things going on concerning prophecy, which we expect because the Lord have given us an understanding of His word. Okay. It says, let's finish up verse 38. It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment, right? Because it's going to come to a point where things going to continue to happen so much so, where then all hell going to break loose then. And that's the Heavenly Father going to turn that dial all the way up. And then you're going to see nothing but chaos out here, a lot of bloodshed and death out here in these streets, man. That's when you're going to see Amos, the 5th chapter, take place, where it speaks about the day of the Lord, all right? Because the day of the Lord leading up to it is going to be a lot going on. Okay, let's grab it real quick. Amos 5 and verse 18, it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and the bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him. Yeah. So that's showing you the kind of danger you're going to encounter. All right. And now, when you think about, a man fleeing from a lion, the bear met him, or escaped the bear, then when the house leaned on the wall and the serpent bit him, that's symbolic for the hell you're going to catch on all sides. No matter where you turn to, you're going to catch hell, man. There's going to be evil all around you. Like it says in Ezekiel 7, I'm going to get that too. Because that's what's coming, man. All right, evil. And the Lord made all things for Himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil, because the wicked right now is gearing up. It's gearing up what? It's troops, man. Because he's getting ready to push this NWO, man. This Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is on your dollar bill. All right, it's written on their money. The New World Order or New Order of Ages, same thing. They get ready to push it. That's why the troops are positioned in these states, man, along with the ICE, which a lot of them are foreigners, IDF, all that, man. So you're gonna catch hell, man. Back in 2 Esdras 16:39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. Exactly. Because it's going to be what? The same thing that's written in the book of Ezekiel 2. I'm going to get it. That's what's going to be going on, right? Ezekiel 2 and verse 9. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. Right. The Bible. Okay. Verse 10. And he spread it before me, and it was written within it and without. And there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Now you read the NLT, it says, and I saw that both sides were covered with funeral songs, words of sorrow, and pronouncements of doom. See? All right. That's what's ahead. So for all you Israelites out there that don't believe, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, they don't believe, right? Because you're the Israelites. All right, we're the Lord's people, man. Hey, when the scriptures speak about Jacob's time of trouble, that's a time of trouble for our people. Okay? You're gonna experience sorrow, mourning, lamenting, doom, because you don't believe in our power, man. You've totally turned your back on the Lord, man. So when these plagues be not slack to come up on the earth, you're gonna go through them, man. And you ain't gonna have no hope. Okay? Because you ain't returned until Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? Back in 2 Ezra 16:40 it says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." Yeah, because we're gonna have to constantly be on the move when these things going on. The Lord's gonna have us, hidden and moving different places, man. And that's why it's so important to, to be in shape and to take care of your health, man. Even though the Lord, if the Lord got you predestined to be his chosen elect and 1/3 or remnant, you're gonna be okay. But you gotta go through it, man. You have to be ready, man. Just like when the Lord delivered our foreparents from old Egypt, because right now we're in spiritual Egypt, right? When he delivered them, they had to be ready. They had to prepare for the Passover. They had to dress up, be fully dressed, have their staffs in their hand, pack them stuff up to travel, man. Because we gotta move, man. When the Lord say move, you gotta move, man. It's a song in the world that Jake sing. And it's called exactly that. It's called You Gotta Move. And a part of the song said when the Lord get ready, you gotta move. I remember that song vividly because I had one of my grandparents, my mom's mom, she's a Gadite. And she didn't sing often at all, but when she sung, she would play her guitar and sing that song when we be at her house. That's the only song she sing. But I'm saying that, song because a lot of songs that Jake would make in the world, that really applies, all right, to us that believe in the Lord, man. We gotta move, man. We gotta be like pilgrim. A pilgrim is always moving, constantly moving, because evil gonna come, man. But the ones of our people that's not taking heed, doom is to you, man. All right, because this is what's coming right here. Ezekiel 7 and verse 5 says, "Thus said the Lord power, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. And end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come." See? And that's the great evil that's getting ready to break loose, man. And if you're not spiritually ready, all right, for the evil that's getting ready to happen, you're not gonna make it, man. Man, hold on, let me say this. If you're not right with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you ain't gonna fucking make it, man. And that's just the bottom line, man. If you're not the Lord's elect, you ain't gonna fucking make it, man. I'm hoping I make it, I'm hoping that Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai have mercy upon me, you know what I'm saying, and I make it. And if it be his will, even my children. But that's all up to the Lord. Because a lot of our people ain't gonna make it. 2/3 is a majority of our people, man. So that's something to consider and think about, man. If you may hear this video out there, man. So, hey, man, I'm gonna end it right there. I gotta get in for camp. With that, I'm gonna say all praise and glory be unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Shem Rakah Kodash. Hey, Lord willing, this video has been edifying and exhorting to your spirit. And with that, I want to say shalom.